Texas Supreme Court has halted discovery in a lawsuit against the city of Corpus Christi. A surf shop founder and a local icon in the surfing community has died. And Shiner police are warning residents about news apps using artificial intelligence, which is sending out misinformation. This is South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Thank you for joining me on this Tuesday, July 7th. Local news outlets have reported that the Texas Supreme Court temporarily halted discovery in a lawsuit against the city of Corpus Christi. The court issued the order on Monday related to a case filed by Ajit David against the city in Nueces County Court at Law Number 3, with Mayor Paulette Guajardo and Philip Ramirez listed as key figures. Supreme Court granted that request, indefinitely postponing depositions scheduled for today and July 21st. The Texas Supreme Court's orders requires David to file a response to the city's petition by August 5th to argue why the discovery orders should remain in place. Specific details of the underlying dispute between David and the city of Corpus Christi were not disclosed in the court documents, according to local media. 3 News reports that an 18-year-old man is recovering after he was shot during a 4th of July beach gathering in Port Aransas late Saturday. Police said the shooting happened between beach markers 32 and 34 after an altercation between the victim and the suspect. The 18-year-old was shot once in the leg. Emergency crews treated him at the scene before taking him to a local hospital. His injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. Port Aransas Police Department, with assistance from Texas Parks and Wildlife Department and the Texas Highway Patrol, continue to investigate. 3 News also reports that Benjamin Liska, the founder of Benjamin's Surf Shop, has died following heart health complications. He was 74. Liska was well known in the local surfing and skating community. He opened Benjamin's Surf Shop in 1976 as a small surfboard store in Corpus Christi. Funeral or memorial service information has not yet been announced. 25 News Now reports that residents in Shiner using news apps with content curated by artificial intelligence may inadvertently be receiving misinformation. Police say that Animal Services responded to a call at a local daycare recently, and that residents received a notification from an AI app saying that injuries resulted from the incident. According to police, the information sent by the app is incorrect, and information provided by the app is, quote, frequently wrong. In state news, officials in Dallas County are refusing to release the full autopsy report of an Afghan immigrant who died in ICE custody in March, despite multiple public information requests. Houston Public Media's Andrew Schneider reports the county is asking Attorney General Ken Paxton, the Republican senatorial candidate, to block the report's release, citing an ongoing federal criminal investigation.
Mohammed Nazir Pakhtiwal's death certificate says he died from anaphylaxis and asthma, the result of an adverse drug reaction and ingestion of methamphetamine. It does not explain when or how he could have obtained access to illegal drugs while in ICE custody. And his brother, Nasir Pakhtiwal, says he had no known allergies.
He was not a criminal. He was not a threat to the public, to this country. He fought for this country. So all I want is the truth.
Nazir Pakhtiwal fought alongside U.S. Army Special Forces in Afghanistan for more than a decade before being resettled in Texas in 2021 after Kabul fell to the Taliban. He was seized by ICE outside his home near Dallas on March 13th and was dead less than 24 hours later. I'm Andrew Schneider in Houston.
Texas will need to invest billions of dollars into natural gas production to keep up with demand over the next 25 years. That's according to a new study from a national trade association representing the industry. Houston Public Media's Natalie Weber tells us more about their findings.
Industry leaders say Texas will need to spend between $8 and $12 billion per year to keep up with natural gas demand. The Interstate Natural Gas Association of America Foundation partnered with the University of Houston and others to study natural gas demand through 2052. Paul Doucette, the UH lead for the study, says LNG exports and data centers are driving the demand.
Even if we don't end up building a lot of data centers in Texas, we're still going to use an awful lot of natural gas from Texas to fuel electric generation capacity for data centers that are built someplace else.
A recent report from environmental watchdogs finds Texas is on track to lead the country in natural gas plants built to power data centers. I'm Natalie Weber in Houston.
NPR reports that the Supreme Court on Monday allowed a Texas law prohibiting minors from downloading apps without their parents' consent to go into effect. Multiple organizations had sued the state, arguing that the law violates children's freedom of speech. In an unsigned, unexplained order, the High Court allowed Texas to enforce the law as lawsuits continue in lower courts. Texas enacted its App Store Accountability Act in 2025. The law requires app stores to verify all users' ages, and it prevents children under age 18 from downloading most apps without parental consent. Texas told a lower court that legislators enacted the law in order to keep minors from seeing harmful material. 1 year after the devastating Hill Country floods, Kerrville and nearby communities, including Ingram and Hunt, celebrated Independence Day while remembering those who were lost. Texas Public Radio's Jack Morgan was there.
The city held its annual Independence Day celebration in Louise Hayes Park. The Guadalupe River runs right through the park, and massive bald cypress trees, scarred but still standing, line both banks. As the band began its sound check, I saw a guy with a volunteer T-shirt and asked him how he was doing. He was doing well, with this caveat.
Well, I lost one of my good friends. Reese Zunker was one of my co-workers and a good friend of mine.
Kirk Niffen, like most I spoke to, volunteered to help in any way he could.
As soon as the waters came down, I went out and tried to help look for him and his family.
Zunker, his wife, and 2 children all lost their lives, and Niffen spent 10 days on a search team. Eric Herr was part of a professional dive team that spent months searching the Guadalupe.
Actually, I'm part of a search and rescue group out of San Antonio. So as soon as we heard about the flooding, we started heading out towards Spring Branch and working our way north.
He and his team returned to Kerrville repeatedly over the past year. Herr's front row seat to the recovery effort left him impressed.
No, I think Kerrville and the surrounding areas done an outstanding job considering the amount of devastation. And I know there's a lot of pain still in the community about what happened, but I think it's rebounded well.
One effort to help the community heal was the Free Symphony of the Hills concert at the Callow Theater. Governor Greg Abbott stopped by.
But through it all, Kerrville did not break. This community
Jennifer Dashel brought her daughter to the concert.
I feel like the city's come together in a big way. They're here for creating events so that the community can continue to get together. They've made efforts to make sure that we're taken care of as a community, not just as individuals.
Nearly everyone I spoke to said the community has come a long way over the past year, and that coming together had been an important part of the healing. I'm Jack Morgan in Kerrville.
One way to help protect yourself against extreme heat is to be careful with your diet. In this installment of the KERA series Vital Signs, Priscilla Fernandez, a registered dietitian with Dallas-based Parkland Health, explains to Sam Baker why what you eat and drink matters.
When you're eating or drinking, your body has to go through the process of digestion. And digestion actually uses a lot of energy to break down that food in order to absorb the nutrition that we are trying to take in. I guess you can call this the thermic effect of food. In that sense, yes, everything we eat and drink will affect how our body handles the heat.
Should you consume smaller portions this time of year?
Especially if you're out in the heat, the answer is yes. You want to be careful with heavy meals. The lighter the food that you're eating, the better it is for your body to digest. Foods that are very high in protein or very high in fat are actually going to take much longer to digest, which can cause your body to produce more heat and make it more difficult for you to cool down.
So what would be a good choice and a bad choice, for instance?
So a great choice is going to be something light, something that is very high in, that contains a high amount of water. Your cucumbers, celery, radishes, strawberries, watermelon, of course, is a famous one, grapefruit, cantaloupe, leafy greens, actually, zucchini, your blueberries, I would say almost any fruit, lemons, peaches, plums. Those are all going to be very light and easier for your body to digest. And they provide your body with a lot of water as well. They also give your body some essential electrolytes like your sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium, which are all essential in maintaining hydration in your body. A bad choice would probably be heavy barbecue ribs with fried French fries. Those
Oh,
are going to have a
spoil
lot of
everything, why
fat.
don't you?
Well, that's particularly why I mention it because here in Texas we love our barbecue. So you do want to be careful with it. Now, it doesn't mean you can't have it. I would choose to have your barbecue either earlier in the earlier part of the day when it's a lot cooler. Make sure you have a lot of shade if you're going to have it in the hotter part of the day, or towards the evening when it starts cooling down. You just want to be careful when it's very, very hot outside.
You mentioned hydration. Let's move to that. Is water the best choice?
For the average person, water is a great choice. If you are out in the heat and you're sweating for more than an hour, then you probably might want to think about having something with electrolytes.
An example of something with electrolytes.
Just your regular sports drinks are going to have some electrolytes. You can also make your own electrolytes, just add a little bit of honey with a little bit of salt. You can also have coconut water, which is also a great natural electrolyte replacer. I would just be careful if you had kidney disease. You want to be careful with coconut water because it is very high in potassium.
Exactly how much water should you drink during the day?
If you are just running around, I would say just if you're thirsty, drink some water. That might be listening to your body is essential. Your body will tell you what it needs. But if you are in extreme hot Texas weather, and you're sweating a lot, then a good rule of thumb is to drink 1 or 2 cups of water for every hour that you're outside and being active.
Priscilla Fernandez is a registered dietitian with Parkland Health, based in Dallas. In sports, starting with the FIFA World Cup, the United States team is officially out after losing 4-1 to Belgium in the round of 16 last night in Seattle. On the local scene in minor league baseball, the Corpus Christi Hooks are back in town for a week-long series with the Frisco Rough Riders. The Hooks enter the first game tonight with a second-place 7-5 slate in the second half of the Texas League standings. They are 38-43 overall this season. First pitch for tonight's game is set for 6:35 p.m. In summer college baseball, the Victoria Generals continue to hold their top spot in the Texas Collegiate League standings. They sit in first with a 21-9 record. They continue play tonight at 7:05 p.m. at Riverside Stadium as part of a 2-day homestand with the San Antonio River Monsters. They then travel to San Antonio for 2 more games against the River Monsters on Thursday and Friday. They'll spend the weekend with the Brazos Valley Bombers in Bryan. And continuing with college updates, Texas A&M Corpus Christi men's and women's tennis head coach Steve Moore has agreed to a contract extension through the 2031 season. Under his leadership, the Islanders racked up 28 Southland Conference championships. Moore will enter his 21st season leading the Islanders. And that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.